What had happened was,
So how did you think spitting on an officer was going to
Well-
alleviate the situation?
welcome to what had happened was.
When we take a peek into actual court cases and give you commentary based on our unique perspective and experiences, and also give you informational tips and tricks to help you avoid a what had happened situation.
Before we get started, give us a thumbs up, a tasteful comment. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of every video as they come out.
Esther Diaz, who's the attorney? Hi. Come down. Morning. Court is calling 2023 CR 8835, State of Texas versus Esther Marie Ariana Diaz. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar from the state of Texas.
Defense.
Julie Pollock.
And are you Ms. Diaz?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Is there an application for this case?
Yes, ma'am. Deferred adjudication.
Okay. Ms. Diaz, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you
Yes,
sign
ma'am.
it?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are.
Ms. Diaz, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of harassment of a public servant? That's a third-degree felony.
Yes.
Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe so.
Ms. Diaz, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial, showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, there's a $200 fine to be probated. State recommends deferred adjudication and anger management. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney?
Yes,
Did you
Your Honor.
understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement. State is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation and 50 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
State officer exhibit 1 in all attachments.
No objection.
All right, you may continue to confer. Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Well, we would just ask that you follow the recommendation of the prosecutor in this case.
All right, how old are you?
31.
And who is Carlos Gutierrez?
My older son.
And how old is he?
He's 17.
And are you employed?
Not at the moment.
When's the last time you had employment?
Um, it's been like a year.
How many children do you have?
No, I'm sorry, ma'am. I do Uber and then I DoorDash and I have 5 kids.
All right, and what are your children's ages?
My older son is 17, which is Carlos. My daughter, she's 15. My other son, he's 13. My daughter, she's 11, and my youngest is 4.
And are you currently pregnant?
Yes, ma'am.
Who helps you with the children?
My husband.
So that's who has the children right now?
Yes.
All right, so why are you spitting on a police officer?
She spit on a police officer.
Yeah, that's the public servant.
Man, how you work up to yourself to spitting on a police officer? You just like
This one left right out
this
the gate.
story is gonna be. I don't know. I don't know how she's gonna be able to explain this one and make it seem like it's okay.
There is none.
It was just, I was angry that day because I was looking for my son and I didn't know that he was in a stolo, which is a stolen vehicle.
So let me get this right. So she's angry because she was looking for her son and didn't know where he was, and couldn't find he's in a stolen vehicle, and that's why he's spit on the cops who shouldn't be recalling
Instead of you
them.
walking up to the police and say, "Excuse me, officer, I'm looking for my son.
Exactly.
His name is such and such and such. Blah blah. He looks like this. He looks like this. Or because if she said she was looking for her son, why did she call the police?
The math isn't math, and it's not adding up. The story's not adding up.
And I was angry. And when I crossed the street, the officer had waved me down, like, stop, like, but I was scared because my son has mental illness. And I was scared that he might make like a wrong move.
So you looking for your son? He has mental illness. Why didn't you call the police?
And here the police coming up on
And the
you,
police coming up on you, once
waving
again,
you down.
and instead of you,
At least find out what they want. Maybe they found your son. Just not making any sense whatsoever.
she's trying to make the story fit the report.
It's trying to justify her excuse for what she did.
And they might end up shooting him.
So how did you think spitting on an officer was going to
Well-
alleviate the situation?
They had jumped on me first.
So now she's trying to switch the story again and move it better to her side now again. So the story was going back over.
Left, now went back to the right.
Now she's trying to put it back
And
on
then,
her.
I don't know. First, they waving it down. Now they jumped on her. How did it go from you're upset, they wave you down, and now they jump on you? That doesn't even add up.
Because usually what'll happen, from what my extensive TV experience, but
Yes.
I'm just saying in general too.
So you mean your
No.
expertise? Or
No,
or
just
what
in
had
general,
happened was?
just in general, because if you walk up and you see a scene and you say, excuse me, they'll say, stop right there. Now, if you keep going, then they'll be like, stop. And if she like, no, my son, like I'm quite sure it wasn't a kumbaya moment. She's making it
No,
seem
it sounds like a
like they
hysterical
threw it.
moment.
Like
Yeah.
she might have been hysterical, and no one's not justifying her feeling that way. But the action behind it was like she should have been like, officer, I think my son is in there. His name is blank, and I think that's my son. Can you help me?
Well, right
Can you
now,
help me?
so far the story doesn't show as to why she's feeling a police officer.
Yeah, I don't see.
They both, and I was more angry because I don't know if that time I was still pregnant or if I already had a miscarriage before I got pregnant, this pregnancy. And it kind of, it was just out of like anger, I guess I did it. Because when I was trying to tell them no, what I was trying to do, they still had just one put their like knee in my back and holding my hand, the other was just digging me more in the ground. So it made me mad because I was trying to like stop my son from, but either way, he ended up getting away.
So now she's saying she did it out of anger because he had his knee in his back and she thought she wasn't sure she was pregnant or miscarried. I mean, the story's jumping. She's all over the place with the story. It's just going left, right, back,
And then
forth.
she said that she was worried about her son
Yeah.
getting in the middle. How would he have? So that means that they had already let him go.
There's parts of the story that's not being mentioned. That's causing this not to be the confusing as it is.
Like, and the lawyer should have been told her to stop because the lawyer should have really gone over this story with her.
Yeah, really.
Because I'm quite sure the video says a whole different thing.
She's not prepared for the statement whatsoever.
Has Child Protective Services ever been involved in your life?
Once in 2012.
And why were they involved?
Because I had came out dirty with marijuana from secondhand smoke from my daughter,
Which
Right.
daughter?
Ashley.
And how old is she?
She's 11.
So you're saying your 11-year-old was smoking marijuana?
Stay tuned for part 2 of what had happened was. Thanks for watching.
And also give us a thumbs up, like, comment, share. Subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified of every video as they come up. And get that algorithm going and help us build this channel in 2024.
And make sure that you don't wind up in a what had happened situation.